So if you're scrolling on Instagram and you happen to come across pictures of friends who are looking good or celebrities, whomever, and you notice yourself starting to feel insecure about your body, just start to notice what happened. I mean, you saw a picture, you saw an image, and then all of a sudden, a whole bunch of thoughts started coming into your mind, talking to you, telling you things like, your body's not good enough, they're so pretty, why can't you be like that? Remember when you used to look like that? I'm so ugly now. And you're gonna have a whole bunch of feelings associated with that. Feelings of not good enough, fearful, unworthy, disappointment, whatever it may be. And yet, prior to seeing that image, my guess is you were relatively okay of feeling about your body. I mean, you could have not been feeling good about your body and then it just got exacerbated, but I say probably most of the time that this happens is you're just doing something, living your life, stop and do a little scroll, and then all of a sudden you feel like crap. So prior to that, your body wasn't so much of a problem, was it? You were too engaged, consumed in doing other things. And it's just until the mind came in, made some comparisons based on the data that has been inputted into it from growing up in this culture and the associations that we've come to make things mean about ourselves through past experiences that got stirred up. And then that becomes how you feel. All of a sudden that comes flooding in and you have these feelings and the body just feels like a problem. But if none of that was there, like if that all just got cleared out, just notice how you couldn't feel bad about your body. You couldn't have a judgment about it because no thought or feeling would be there. It just would be. So it's not until these judgments or these comparisons or criticisms come flooding in and we feel these feelings and we believe the stories to be true that we have a problem. That's when all of a sudden you feel bad. But that's all that's going on. Now, does that mean that a lot of times the mind will hear this and say something like, okay, so I'm just supposed to like be okay with my body and never do anything and just, if I don't feel good, never feel good again? Didn't say that. But the mind will like to come and say that because it thinks in black and white. It thinks in all or nothing. And in this culture, we're conditioned and taught that if we just accept our bodies, if we're okay with things, we'll do nothing. We'll just be big, lazy slobs and we'll just sit on the couch and blah, 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 blah. That's not true. When we listen to the mind, we get caught in that all or nothing thinking. But that's just the mind. There's another place that we can access that gives us truth and deeper wisdom in this moment. I call it our inner wisdom, which can usually be accessed through the heart, not up here. You actually don't need to be listening to the stuff up here. And I understand how enticing it is. It draws me into, I get it. But the more you can keep seeing that it's just stuff that's coming up from the mind based on conditioning that you learned that took you away really from feeling okay and good about yourself, you can start to let that go. And you can let that go by starting to really feel and release those old feelings that are still inside. Because with that conditioning comes the attachment to these old feelings, and we're trying not to feel that stuff inside of us. We don't like it. But we have to actually feel it to release it. And when we let it go, it goes. And we have less of it inside. And the bonus is we feel better because we're not feeling that stuff inside. But we have to be able to feel it to heal it. And so that's why I also want to mention a workshop that I'm doing this Friday, so in just in a couple days, called Feel to Heal. So I'm going to be going through some experiential exercises where we can actually start to open to feeling the emotions, experiencing them, and allowing them to release so that they don't seem so scary. And when we can actually do that, that thinking mind, that critical mind quiets down, because the feelings and the thoughts are attached. They're like the one and the same, 2 for 1. So all of those critical thoughts actually start to settle down when we release some of these old yucky feelings that we don't like. So your body is okay. It's the thoughts that come in that tell you that it's not okay. And just because you stop listening to the thoughts, or you choose, I'm not going to pay attention to them so much, doesn't mean you won't do anything to feel better, because you'll be then able to listen more to your inner wisdom, to that guidance, which always has your best interest at heart, that you can access when you start to clear out those feelings that are old and just want to release anyways. So if you have questions about the workshop, you can send me a message. I'm also going to link to where you can register below, and I hope to see you there. It will be recorded if you can't attend live.